content. We're getting content. Right. All right. Hey, gentlemen, how's it going, sir? Just starting out the stream a little early, making sure everything works good. My other window's not responding. There we go. Finally decided to respond. Excellent. Just want to get everything up and running first, make sure there's no hiccups before I start the stream. Everything, I think, is okay for right now. Yep, this is the tent sale shirt for Tate's, which I'm going to be talking about in a second. So here's what it kind of looks like. Pretty cool shirt. Hey, Beast Boy, how's it going, sir? Just starting the stream a little early, getting everything organized before we actually get rolling. Because there's a lot to talk about in the stream. How is the mic? As you guys know, I do not have a headset, so I cannot tell how it sounds unless causing feedback issues, which would cause issues in the stream. I hope it sounds okay. It seems okay. My mic levels look pretty good. Oh, cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Hey, Beast Boy. Awesome, awesome. Tonight's last bit of drink is some Sprite Cherry. Something different. Haven't had Sprite Cherry in a long, long time. Let me see if this pops, hopefully. I'm testing a couple of the pieces out here. What the heck's that? Turn down the mic. How's the mic sound now? Good? Bad? I was getting an overload message from the encoder. So hopefully there's no issues. Come on. Why does it look like it's frozen? Look like the stream is buffering for some weird reason. Just making sure everything looks good. Excellent. I'll move the mic a little bit to about maybe 75% gain. I'm getting some feedback. Hopefully everything is okay. I'm getting a little delay here. Are you guys getting any lag on the stream at all? Let me know in chat, please. Hopefully I'm not getting any. I dropped the sound a little bit. Hopefully that fixed the issue. I hope. I'm really far behind on Flash. Really far. I think I'm like, I want to say 7 episodes? 8 episodes? I'm really far. Last ones I saw, I think, were in December. I want to say. It had to do with one of the Elongated Man episodes. That was the last one I saw. I'm really, really far behind on Flash. Really, really far behind. I don't watch Legends of Tomorrow, and I don't watch Arrow. I started watching Legends of Tomorrow, but I kind of got bored with it. It really wasn't my show. I decided to just stay with Flash, and that's what I really like the Flash show. It is a very, very confusing show at times, especially with all the time jumping stuff and the time travel. It can be very, very confusing. For someone who's not a big comic fan, it can be kind of off-putting. So we'll give it a couple more minutes until we actually start the stream up. I'm not getting an overload message anymore, and it looks like the stream's holding good, and there's no latency or lag anymore. So that's a very, very good thing. I'm very, very happy about that. Let me move this bar over a little bit here so I can see more of myself on the other screen. Because I actually watch, I actually have 2 monitors. That's why you don't see me looking at you right now, at the camera. I have another monitor to make sure how many people are in the chat and if the stream is still moving or not. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to mention the Mino stuff a little bit. Tiny bit. Alright, we're going to start up in about 2 minutes. And there's no issues. The stream is healthy. I'm not seeing any issues on the stream, and my internet is sound, which is a good thing. I'm wearing my really cool Tate shirt. Got it at the tent sale. We're going to talk about that shortly. We have 4 people in stream right now. Thank you for coming in. Whoever's in here, guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Make sure the chat's working okay. I think it'll be okay. Yep, chat's working fine. Let me pop the, I don't know why the subscriber button isn't working. I messed with it earlier. It should pop up, but I'm not seeing it display in the chat. I don't know why. I can get it to see, I can see it myself when I cause a subscriber to show up. You'll see the little guy dancing in the top right corner next to the subscriber count. But it's about a 5-second delay for me. So when I'm talking, it's already, I'm already in the past when you guys see it. Let me move this sound up a little bit higher here. There we go. There's a little guy dancing right there. I don't know why it's not working. I'm actually not on the Flash amino. I was on 2 DC group aminos. One of them I did not have good rapport with one of the admins, one of the curators, and he basically pulled some of my stuff down. I'm like, no, I don't want to be here. If you're thinking that I'm trying to troll or do things off topic and you don't like what I say, I don't want to deal with people like that. So we have 5 people in chat, so let's get the stream started. Thank you guys for coming into my stream. Let me get this going right quick here. Hold on 1 second. Should be back up in a second. I noticed it was dropping a lot of packets. So to bypass that, I wanted to fix this while I could. Okay. No, I don't talk to P2 that much. I don't know what he's really up to right now. I haven't really seen him all that much, to be quite honest. Whatever he's doing, if he's doing it good, more power to him. Got no issues with the guy. So let me come over here real quick here. I don't know what the heck is going on. Let me kill this real quick on this side. 1 second. Let me kill my second monitor. Refire it up again. Let's see what we got on this guy. I don't know what the heck is going on. Looks like my subscriber count box broke. I'm dropping frames again. Wow. I don't know what the heck is going on with the stream. Let me kill it again. I think everything should work out. Thank you guys for staying with me. I just had to restart the stream. What the heck is up with this? I'm getting a lot of drop packets. I'm getting a lot of drop packets. My internet looks to be up. I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm going to switch my internet cable out. So back in a second, guys. Let me kill this real quick when it breaks. So that's a good thing at least. Alright. Hopefully I can recover pretty quick. Get this fixed. Alright. Oops, I'll move this over here. Come on, come on. Just trying to move the stream over. I have not yet seen Hector. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to be coming up with the new figures. I have not heard anything. But I want to thank everyone for sticking with me when I had this issue here. Looks like everything is sound now. It was probably just some issues on my side when it came to my internet. So thank you guys for coming into the stream, and let's start this guy off now. Let me make sure everything is kosher. Mic still sound good, guys? Please let me know in the chat. And also, Hector, to answer your questions, I'd love to do a collab with P2. It's just him and I have not gotten together for anything. With Toys R Us now failing, that might be one less place to hunt, so I'm not entirely sure myself, to be quite honest. I would love to do some stuff with him, but we just haven't got around to doing it yet. So thank you guys for sticking with me through these connection problems. Hopefully we can sort all this out. Excellent. Thank you, Hector. So let's talk some stuff for the tent sale. But before I talk the tent sale, I want to show you guys something really cool. They had an art festival about two weeks ago by me in South Florida. One of the guys there did a lot of fabricating with different sort of materials. He did something called corn tile, and he does wood. Hey, how's it going, sir? Yep, AA would know Hector, definitely. He did some retail stuff, so he's also my tag team partner when it comes to our podcast, which I will plug later as well. Basically, this particular guy that I went to this art festival for, he works in different mediums. He works in corn tile and in wood. So you could take anything, literally anything, and make a three-dimensional image of it. I want to show you what I actually got. I finally got it in a couple days ago. I think it's super cool. I will pull this card up in a second here, but take a look at this. This is really, really cool. I found an image online of this, of Green Lantern, saying brightest day. This is a piece of corn tile. This is not wood. This is not, let's say, any other material. This is a physically piece of tile that you would see, like, say, out of your kitchen or out of your bathroom. This is three-dimensional, meaning, as you see me moving it here, it looks in 3D. This is hand cut. This is not done on a CAD program. This is not done, let's say, with any automated tools. This is done by hand on like a bandsaw or table saw. This is a picture of Hal Jordan saying brightest day. There's a green piece of fabric in the back, which gives the illusion of this green backdrop. Now, as I pull away from the chair, you'll see how this actually changes. From a, literally, like, you can see it's in 3 dimensions. You can see the depth to this, as you see me moving it here. I'm going to pull further back in my chair, and you're going to see how it changes perspective. It looks like it's now 2-dimensional. It doesn't look like it's 3D any longer. This is going to be back on my back wall over here somewhere, like right back there. But I want to showcase this off to you guys so you can kind of see what he does. He had a picture of the symbiote Spider-Man suit and a Batman picture. So you can take any type of art that you say online, if you see something you really like, and he can make it out of this piece of corn tile. You can hear it to the mic. So, I mean, this is a really, really cool piece, in my opinion, of art. I love the way this thing looks. It looks really, really cool. So, if you're curious about this guy's stuff, this was about $90 for him to make that for me. It's a one-of-a-kind item. Here's his card if you were curious. I'll hold it up here for you. It's Don Crafts. That's his number. He's in Port Orange, Florida. And here's his email address if you were curious. doncrafts@gmail.com. Just let him know that Ross sent you, or Rook. This is his card if you're curious. He does unique corn or wood pieces. So if you're looking for anything out of this material type, it's very, very cool stuff. So that being aside, put this away, hold on. So that being aside, I want to show that off to you guys. I think it's very, very cool. Really neat little piece. Let's take chat real quick here. At least my stream is holding steady right now, so at least I was able to recover pretty quickly. So I'm very, very happy I know how to fix problems, at least predominantly when they happen. And hopefully the stream doesn't break again. It just started dropping packets like crazy. I could tell when an issue's about to occur. So, let's see what I actually got at the tent sale. If you haven't seen the video yet, I posted it on Sunday of me going to Tate's tent sale. Here's a little flyer for the actual tent sale. It was March 24th and 25th. It was their 25th anniversary. On the back here was everything that you could get at the actual tent sale. It might be hard to see here. I'll kind of pull back a little bit, but it might be hard to read. This is everything he had at the tent sale. I picked up a few items. I picked up, I think, 4 items. So it cost me about $20 for all these items. I want to showcase them all for you now. First item I got was, when I was going through all those totes I was talking about, I got a Kubrick's Tron piece. It's a 2-pack. Normally, I think it's $20 for this guy here. This is Tron and Sarek. These are kind of translucent Kubrick figures. If you were curious, this is what they would look like, the packaging. They had both these guys here, but I saw them in the box, in the tote, basically, but I didn't pick it up. I swung back later on, and I kind of got mad at myself because I really wanted the Clue. They had the Clue one. This one, this yellow one here. I wanted that one. I didn't see the Sam one, but I saw this one. I said, you know what? I like Tron. Not a massive Tron fan, but I said, you know what? For $5, this is normally a $20 item. For $5, I can't really go wrong with this. Next item I thought was cool because I saw it there at Tate's a while ago. I decided to pick it up. You guys know I'm a big Green Lantern fan. It's the Batman Green Lantern Dorbs. Normally a $10 item. Got it for $5. So I can't really complain with a $5 item. It says Green Lantern Batman. This was number 250 on this one here. I don't own this one. I have the Sinestro and the Green Lantern one. So it'd be, I have this one now, and this one. No chases. I didn't get any chases. Next item, you saw me when I went to the tent sale and I saw a couple of the Marvel Select items. I was able to get one. Some little kid had it in his hand and he put it down. I'm going to do a full review on this guy in a few days. Not this one, because this is the beat-up one. This is the Marvel Select's Gambit. I'm a big, big Gambit fan. This is normally close to a $30 item. I got it for $5. The packaging is beat to hell. And I have no problem with this. I have a full mint on card one, which I'm going to do in my breakdown video to show the packaging. This packaging, if you look here, is all taped up. All the pieces and parts in this figure are there. I checked it against the one I have sealed. So it is complete. This is a complete Gambit Marvel Select figure. I'm really, really happy to do it. If you're curious, the back packaging would look like this. Hopefully, yep, it locked up for a second. We're okay, though. Yep, everything looks fine. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy to get this guy. Do I have a what? Do I have a Smet? What is that, Swedish? Do I have a what? What do you mean by that? I love me some Gambit. Love me some Gambit. Now, the really cool item I got, I didn't even know they made these. I love Big Bang Theory. I'm really behind in the new season. I've missed a few episodes, but I got this right here, and I think it's really, really cool. This is the Big Bang Theory. It says Pixel right over here, so I'm assuming this is the name of the company, Pixel. These are kind of pixel-like little block figures for Big Bang Theory. This is normally, I think it's $35 he had this priced at. I got it for $5. This would be like a Rook's Rare find. I got this thing for $5. So we had Sheldon, Raj, Howard, and you had Bernadette. If you're curious what it looks like, they had 2 waves of this. So this is this one right here. I didn't see this one. I would have bought this one if they would have had it there. I only saw this one. I thought this would be a very, very cool item to have. Complete, not missing any figures for $5. I do apologize for the glare coming off of the camera. But I thought this was a very, very cool item. Very happy to get this in my collection. So that's everything I got at the actual tent sale. I went inside the actual store and picked up a few comics. I got a variant Sinestro and Green Lantern comic. I think it was Green Lantern number 21. I got the first issue of Darkhawk. He had a special deal going inside the actual store. Any back issues, 50% off. If it was a back issue, it was 50% off. I said, you know what, let me get those 2. I saw them. I gave an issue of Darkhawk to a buddy of mine. I never got it back, so I was actually missing that number 1 issue. And I wanted it, because eventually down the road, I want to get it CCG'd. I want to get it graded, and I want to get it inside the clear plexiglass. Because I'm a very, very big fan of Darkhawk. I love the old 90s stuff. Absolutely one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. Yeah. I'm just behind. It's not that I can't get to the Big Bang Theory. I haven't had time to. I'm just too busy right now. I have a loved one that just went to the hospital to meet today. She's very, very sick. It happened out of the blue. So I was there, between things I was doing today and going to the hospital. So I had to run back here for the stream. So let's talk about, that was the main thing I wanted to talk about, at least the beginning portion of the chat here. So let me just mark this stuff off. So definitely, the tent sale is really, really cool over at Tate's. If you're in the South Florida area, if you go to Lauderhill, Florida, it's about 40 miles north of Miami is where Tate is located. He has those tent sales about, I think he does them bi-yearly, so he has 2 a year. And he usually blows out a lot of stock to put in new stuff, and he makes a big killing in those actual tent sales. The line wraps around the tent. It's a really, really cool tent sale. You get a lot of good stuff, but you got to get there really, really early in the morning to get anything good. By the end of the, let's say, the middle of the afternoon, the walls pick clean. Yeah, I'm so far behind in Big Bang Theory. So let's talk a little bit about, I made a note of it on the actual, on the thumbnail, and I want to talk to you guys about Toys R Us. So Toys R Us did, in fact, go through the beginning portions of a liquidation sale. It actually started last Friday. I think it's nationwide in the U.S. to close all their stores down. They began the liquidation. Their Lego stuff, at least at my location, was not heavily discounted. It was only about 5% off, which I was rather surprised about. I'm assuming that they're probably going to ramp that discount up higher as the actual, as the closer to closing time would happen to close the store down. I'm assuming. I'm making that as a guess. I think that will have actually happened. Their action figures were 10% off, and their pops were 10% off. Nothing was higher than 10% off that I saw. So I was, it is very disconcerting to have Toys R Us go, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I made a note about it on the stream. When this video goes up in the as a VOD, video on demand, you'll see some descriptions. You'll see this link to this article. This is a legit article. It comes from CNN Money's website. Toys R Us is on its way out, but KB Toys is set to pop back up. That's right, KB Toys, the old mall-based toy store that we saw years and years ago, is set to have a relaunch, at least from what I'm reading. So I'm going to read this off to you. I'll skim through the article, but the link is in the actual VOD, so you can take a look at it there. Also, I'll grab it here and put it in the chat for you. Right there. If you're curious, there's the VOD link to it, the link to the actual, link to the actual article. I don't know how they're going to lower their pricing when it comes to, let's say, computer stuff or video game stuff. I didn't go that far into the store to see it. I was kind of in a rush that particular day when I went Friday. I didn't see heavily discounts. My girlfriend went to take a look at the Lego stuff. It was still marked at 5% off. So I'm assuming they have not changed the amount of discount yet. I'm assuming as the time goes more progressively in the future, the higher the discount will become, I'm assuming. Nope, I have the article right here, Hector. Here's how the article talks about. There's a company called Strategic Marks, which is funny because a mark is a derogatory term in wrestling, but Strategic Marks is a company that buys and revitalizes defunct brands. They own the KB name and plan to open 1,000 what are called pop-up KB toy stores for Black Friday and the holiday shopping season. The owner says, my assumption is that there will be about $500 million worth of toys that have been produced for Toys R Us with no place to go. The president, his name is Ilya Kazov. They had a phone interview with CNN Money. That's a big, big void that they're hoping to fill up. Toys R Us, of course, filed for bankruptcy last year, announced last year that it expects to close all of its 735 stores in the U.S. This closure will put, unfortunately, 31,000 people out of work and dramatically hurt the toy manufacturers that depend on national retailers for distribution. Number-wise, I heard it was about 20%. The big chunk, of course, being Mattel and Hasbro, and a little bit for NECA as well. Now, they go on to say in this article, so it looks like it's going to be Black Friday is when this is going to happen. The president, Kazov, said he's been in contact with Hasbro and Mattel and up to 200 smaller toy suppliers who are looking for new brick-and-mortar retailers. He plans to take full advantage of the glut of toy manufacturers that have inventory that have out there, but no place to sell it. They want to get a quick retail footprint basically in the market share. They said this is going to be very similar to what are called holiday and pop-up retails, like Spencer, Spirit Holdings, Go, retail groups, and Party City Holdico. What they also plan to do, so this is going to pop up near the end of the year and Black Friday. They're opening 1,000 of these stores down. Then after the holiday, this is one important parts of the article, so take this importantly, guys. After the holiday shopping season ends, Kazov said they will decide which of the pop-up stores will become permanent based on the performance and whether they can negotiate a lease. So I want to let you guys know that this could be just a one-and-done deal. I'm not sure. But I think it's very, very cool that out of the ashes, the old KB toy stores that we used to see in our local malls may be on a swing for the way back. What do you guys think in chat? Is this a good idea? Do you think this is could actually work with Toys R Us being gone now? Let me know. Hit me up. I agree with that. Yep, I know. But as far as them coming back, do you guys think it's a good idea? Do you think KB coming back can fill this rut, so to speak, for Toys R Us being gone? Or is this, just a failure waiting to happen? What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea? Hit me up in the chat. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm curious. Can KB survive? Or are they going to pop them back into, let's say, malls? Or are they going to be freestanding stores? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be... well, apparently, they don't own all the trademarks because this other company bought KB stuff. So I'm assuming they bought rights to the KB name. Yeah, OMG, it'd be cool if they came back. It'd be very a sense of nostalgia. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a feeling it may be, my gut's telling me it's going to be like the Halloween Spirit Store. That's what I kind of feel like it's going to be. Those Halloween Spirit Stores you might see that pop up just for, let's say, the Halloween time and then they close. That's what I have a feeling they might do. I hope they don't. I hope they stay longer. But I have a feeling they might do that. Yeah, OMG, I agree. And of course, let's face it, Toys R Us is the Red Lobster when it comes to the toy industry, when it comes to retail. They charge extremely high pricing. That's one of the big reasons Toys R Us is going away, is their price point is so high that it just becomes irrelevant now in this day and age where you can go on Amazon and get it 10, 20, 30% cheaper than you would at Toys R Us. It's kind of sad, actually. I wish they, I wish this KB thing would work. I hope they give you a very competitive price point. according to what I read in another article, that they have this huge deal in place, because this whole thing about this pop-up store is something new. Let me check the date on that article. I'm just curious myself. I read about it earlier, about an hour ago. I was like, wow, that's kind of messed up. This came in. This article is about 6 days old, if you were curious. About 6 days old in that article. So it's very recent information. I read another one about 2 weeks ago that led me into the whole KB thing, and I didn't know they're doing these pop-up stores. They said they're going to ramp up for the for the beginning of the holiday season. That's what I heard. So Black Friday would be a very, very good time to do this. Yeah, it just says they acquired, according to the article, they acquired the KB name. That's all it says. It doesn't say KB Toys, K-B Toys. It just says the KB name. So I'm assuming they own some. They bought some type of defunct brand version of KB. So I don't know how they're going to brand it, like a K-B Toys or K letter, B letter Toys. I don't know how they're going to brand that yet. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to roll that information out. It's still maybe too new right now. They probably don't even know right now what they personally think. I hope they do. I really hope KB does make a flourish back. It was in my youth, I used to go all the time to KB Toys. It was a little hole in the wall place in the mall. It wasn't a really big store. I would say maybe, you know, 1,000 square foot would be pushing the number. But I mean, I remember the old KB Toys. I remember seeing the old Toy Biz Toys there. I remember seeing, what else did I see there? I saw a lot of old school properties there. I think they had Superpowers there. I think some DC stuff there. They usually had like the flavor of the month toys. They had like, let's say the Robin Hood toys. Remember the old Robin Hood movie? They had those toys there. Yeah, that's what I said. Yep. They're doing it for Black Friday. Well, they can they can only do it if they can negotiate a lease. I'm assuming they're probably going to be. I have a feeling they. Who knows? They might even actually get some of the old Toys R Us stores and just repurpose them to make them the KB stores. I mean, it'd be an idea, but the rent would be just ludicrous. They're going to do it all in malls. AA. I don't see anything in the article saying that. Nothing in the article that says anything about going back into the malls. Wow. And if you're curious, they had about $5.3 billion in debt. That's what Toys R Us had. If you're curious what the numbers were. $5.3 billion. That's what a B, not with an M. Billion in debt. So that's kind of crazy. Kind of nuts. Yeah, all it says, plans to open 1,000 pop-up KB toy stores for Black Friday and the holiday shopping season. That's all this article says. There could be more information in another article, but that's currently what I see in this particular article. Yep, 5.3 billion with a B, not an M, a B. $5.3 billion. That's a lot of money. And I mean, I can't understand how Toys R Us would allow this amount of debt to just spin so badly out of control. I don't know if their high point executives were just taking massive amounts of bonuses. I don't know what they did to warrant this sort of debt this high. I'm rather surprised that the debt hit that much in that short of time. Well, yeah, I agree, OMG. Amazon's killing everything. It kind of feels, in my opinion, very much like how, let's say, Netflix destroyed Blockbuster. Think of it that way. Netflix came in with their business model and just wrecked Blockbuster. They killed Blockbuster. Same thing happened with online shopping now. Is killing the retail stores. It's killing Toys R Us. If you look at, let's say, when Walmarts all began popping up, you had the old Kmarts. Remember Kmarts back in the day, guys? Kmarts were around. Walmart just decimated them. Yeah, from what I heard, Ugly, is that they're closing the U.S. stores. They are not closing the Canada stores from what I've heard. I don't know what they're going to do with them. I'm assuming they're probably going to do something with the online brand. I'm not sure if they're closing ToysRUs.com down. I don't know that portion yet. I've been looking for articles saying, are they keeping the online presence open? I don't know. I don't know if they're keeping that portion open. But the U.S. presence of Toys R Us is going to be gone. Which, again, I think is just a damn shame. I've talked about it at length at many, many videos. I talked about it in many discussions. I think it's really, it's very, very sad for a toy company that's been probably around the longest now, is now going away. Let's see here. I actually bought a lot of stuff online from Amazon when it comes to Pops. I bought a lot of toys from them. I buy a lot of, let's say I bought some of the video equipment. I bought a camera. I bought this microphone I'm using right now. I bought most of my speaker system setups. A lot of stuff I had in my camera that I'm using right now, that came from Amazon. I agree, but I don't know why. I mean, 5.3 billion? You would think that they would, see themselves going out of control, that they would fix this issue, or skirt their debt, or how did they get in the hole so fast? That's my question. Or actually, not really so fast, so large. That'd be the better question. Not speed, depth. How did they get into debt so deep? No one said, you know what, we got a problem here, we got to fix this. Did no one realize any of this? I don't understand. And OMG, you're probably going to laugh. I actually did a lot of research on the Blockbuster Netflix thing. One of the big revenue streams that came out of Blockbuster was actually their late fees. It made up, I think it was between 10 and 20% of their revenue were late fees. So that's one of the reasons that killed Blockbuster, is that, their late fees when you had stuff for Netflix, where you could have a disc out for, when they had discs before they went to streaming. At one time, Netflix had mainly discs that you would have a movie, you'd watch it for however long you wanted to, and then you'd return the disc. Then they would send you a new one based on your list that you had, your playlist. Yeah, they could be in debt, but it's still very, very deep in debt. I mean, it's ridiculous. 5.3 billion? 5.3 billion, really? I thought the Target Canadas went away. That's what I heard, gentlemen. I thought they downsized that entire branch in Canada Targets, from what I heard. I know that they're closing some stores. They closed a couple stores near me, but I heard the Canadian branch of Target closed, if not all their stores, a good chunk of their stores. Jackie, I don't think so. I think they're going to close all the stores. It was funny because I mentioned it in my video when I did my last stream, I think it was, where I talked to a couple Toys R Us people saying they may not have actually closed their stores before the whole liquidation happened. They filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. If you're not sure, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy basically means liquidation of assets. That's what it means. It means you're filing for bankruptcy to protect yourself. That's what filing for bankruptcy means. I could see that. It would be a smart idea, absolutely smart idea for Amazon to purchase that. It's not like they don't have the money to. They should purchase it. Absolutely. They could roll it off into their own thing. Heck yeah. That'd be smart. That'd be good business. So, I mean, yeah, so definitely they should do something like that. But as far as I was saying, the Toys R Us by me said they were supposed to keep the store open until the liquidation stuff happened, the Chapter 7 bankruptcy happened, they went to court for it. They had to work a deal out, a lease with the landlord, which didn't make any sense with me. If corporate Toys R Us says you're closing your store, I don't care who your landowner, your landlord is, they're going to close your store regardless. So I didn't understand why that would actually happen. I found it rather odd that your landlord has more power than the actual Toys R Us corporate. It doesn't make sense to me. Not at all. 0 sense to me. We got 9 people in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in to the stream. Stream is now holding steady. It did not break again. I think the internet had a hiccup. So at least I was able to recover pretty quickly at the beginning here. So I'm rather happy about that. So do you guys think that KB would survive in this day and age? Do you really think a KB store, we could call it in the mall. We'll call it a mall. Do you think a KB store in the mall would survive? Or do you think they would have a freestanding store, like a Toys R Us store or a Spirit Halloween store? Do you think that would work? I can answer that question for you, Omen G. Absolutely. I can definitely answer that question. We got some time to kill, so I can talk about that. Nerd Block shot themselves in the foot. Something happened with their brand, and I think they got a sellout. I think someone bought out their brand. That's why you've not seen any Nerd Block stuff. I stopped doing them because near the end of their life, I decided, you know what, their boxes were getting very, very bad. I mean, they were getting super poor boxes, and I said, I'm going to stop it. The month after I stopped that box, that's when they went under. There was a lot of inner office turmoil from what I've heard from former Nerd Block employees. They had lots of issues with management, a lot of issues with people, you know, taking big payouts, things like that. It looks like they were going under. I don't know if they filed for a bankruptcy at Chapter 7, Chapter 11, Chapter 13. I don't know what they filed, but I know that they're trying to rebuild their brand now. I don't really trust them. I can't tell someone to say, yes, go check out Nerd Block. If they were still steady, I would have kept with them. The only box I'm going right now is Collector's Case. That's the only box I'm actually doing currently. I have my last Legion Collector's Core box as a reshipment coming to me. Unfortunately, everything that's in that box, it's going to be a live stream. I'm going to do a full unboxing of that box whenever I get it. I should be getting it hopefully in a few weeks. We check the chat here. They could survive the holiday season, absolutely. But then you have to come into who made the most money. Then those stores would be kept around, which to me seems a little weird. That you go look at your 1,000 stores, your top 300 stores are profitable, so you just axe all the other ones. I don't know about that. If the prices are low, Hector, I think they could survive. The prices have to be much lower than Toys R Us prices, maybe a little higher than Amazon prices, but you got to have a good price, or no one's going to buy it. They'll just, again, go back to Amazon. The point of buying a toy in a toy store, at least to me, is a thrill of buying it. I like bringing my audience along for the ride. I like getting something on the peg. I get excited when I show it to you, and I like getting something that I can save a couple bucks. You know, if you have a $20 figure, hopefully they can negotiate a deal with and get it a little cheaper. If they can get it for, let's say, Amazon prices, it'd be a good thing too. Let me see here, take a look on here. They might offer. Well, that's the question. Is that their cost or our cost? If that cost is their cost, are they gonna charge full retail? I don't know. Don't know. Gentlemen, go ahead. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't know if they would charge full retail or not for it. If they're saving 25% off anything if Toys R Us returns stuff, they're saving money. Does that help the consumer, or it just helps KB? I don't know. I don't know. But I think it'd be very, very cool having KB. Seeing, you know, a big freestanding KB toy store, I think that would be very, very cool. I think that would be really, really neat to see a freestanding KB toy store, because I don't think they ever made them. I think they were only in the malls. I could be wrong. Quote me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the chat. I think they were just in malls. I never saw a KB in a freestanding store, ever. I think they might have had them, but I never saw one. But yeah, they keep the prices down, AA, but the question is, do they turn around and put that savings back to the consumer? Or do they just take the savings and say, screw the consumer? That's the big question. We don't know. What would happen if Hot Topic or GameStop closed down? It would hurt probably the video game community some. There's a lot of flack on GameStop, especially when you buy a used disc. When you buy a used disc at GameStop, when you purchase, let's say, a $50 game, you buy that, the publishing house, the developing house, let's say NCSoft, let's say it was Capcom, let's say it was whoever, Square Enix, whoever it was, they get a piece of that sale. They get a portion of whatever that sale is. When you return that disc and they resell it, let's say that $50 game, you buy it used for $40. None of that sale, that $40, goes back to the developer again to that publisher house. They get it only one time. GameStop makes a huge chunk of money, a huge killing, and screws the developing house all the time. It happens all the time in video games. And a lot of people have mentioned about this at GameStop, but they still do it. So I don't know what they're going to do. But to answer the first portion of it, Hot Topic, Hot Topic has a big license deal with Funko. So it would definitely hurt Funko. It'd be in Funko's best interest to make sure Hot Topic is taken care of. Let's see, keep going here. Walgreens has a pretty good price from what I've seen for most of their toys. Their Funko stuff is usually reasonably cheap compared to, let's say, Hot Topic or FYE. Excuse me. Usually, Hot Topic has a much higher markup. Let's say a $9 pop. I've never seen a $9 pop at Hot Topic ever. They start cheapest at $11.99. That's the cheapest I've ever seen a pop at Hot Topic. Unless they're discounting those or clearancing them off. A standard pop, that's, let's say, a normal pop, not a Hot Topic exclusive, is $11.99. Hot Topic exclusive, you're probably going $14.99 on that. Yep, FAO Shorts. I believe they're gone now in New York as well. I'm not sure if they're the same as Blockbuster. They're still around. I mean, I have an FYE in my local mall. I saw one at another mall that did actually, in fact, close. Which was, I mean, it was a huge FYE. It was, I mean, it was like 4,000 square feet. No, it was more than that. It was like at least 10,000 square foot. It was a massive FYE. It was absolutely huge. So, I mean, I can see why they closed down. The store was just too damn big. When you have a store that big inside a mall, the rent has to be astronomical. I mean, you're paying for your stock, your rent, everything there, your employees. It is ridiculous how much it would cost them on the bottom line for, you know, to keep a store like that running. It'd be ridiculous to keep it running. I saw Happy Tree Friends years ago. Years ago. Loved it. Great show. Absolutely loved it. So you got about 20 minutes left in the chat. I got all the stuff talked about when I was talking about the tent sale. I talked about the Toys R Us liquidation and KB Toys. Let's do some more Q&A. That's the last piece I have on my list for today. Thank you, everyone, for being in the stream and sticking with us here. Yep, I agree, OMG. Absolutely. They lie all the time. I have heard that GameStop is absolutely the devil. I heard people who hate working there, who are absolutely forced, and they force people to say, you need to buy this used game as opposed to the new game. Because GameStop makes 100% of that sale. They don't have to give anything to the developer. That's why they want to push old used games or you know, the old, not even the older titles, but the used version as opposed to the new version. If they have two discs, new and used, they'll always want you to get the used, not the new. Absolutely. So if they had 431 stores, they're going to be doubling, and you know, almost two and a half times their store size that they had. If they do them in malls, I don't know how they're going to do that. Are they going to just reopen them again? I don't know. They might. What they could do. They could do it. Unfortunately, make one of those little island displays that you normally would see, like your calendars, your seasonal calendars that you usually see. That would pop up, let's say near December, all those little island things, and have it KB Toys. I think it'd be very, very weird doing that. I think they would do good business, absolutely. When you have no toys, when you have literally no retail competition, except your Walgreens, your Walmarts, your Targets, whoever's left, that would be your only real competition. And of course, the online presence, you know, let's say Amazon, eBay, so forth and so on. Yeah, the Toys R Us price have always been high. I heard about that, OMG. I heard about that. Kind of funny, actually. I think the guy who did Toys R Us died, too. Yep, they always do. They'll always want you to get insurance on this, insurance on that. They always want to upsell you, you know, Oh, you need an extra controller. Do you need blah, blah, blah? You want our Game Power magazine or Game Informer magazine. You get, 2-year subscription for whatever. I've seen them. Cthulhu plushes are awesome. So let's do some Q&A, guys. Hit me up for Q&A in the chat. What do you want to know? Hit me up. Oh, before I do that, before we do Q&A, let me go and push it because AA's in the chat with me here. Hold on, guys. Hold the phone. Give me a second here. It is, I'm thinking here. Let's see here. www. Whoops, give me a second here to get this in here. I want to give you the link to a podcast that I'm a part of. I've talked about in the streams before. I don't know how many people in the chat are wrestling fans. I will dump it in the chat right now. As you guys know, I always talk about this. There it is right there. It's coming up in a second. If you guys are wrestling fans, myself and Star Wars Collecting and Hobbies, him and I do a podcast twice a month of both WWE stuff, usually from a pay-per-view, and we do it the independent stuff, usually Ring of Honor or NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I talk a lot about that as well. So him and I both do that. He handles many of the WWE stuff and NXT. I handle everything else. I also handle vintage WWE stuff. I'll talk old school stuff. I'll talk Monday Night Wars. I'll talk, we'll talk, let's say, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, old school things that people might have remembered in their youth. I usually kind of reminisce about that as well because I remember the old school stuff. Is Kane fighting at WrestleMania? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I don't think that would be a good team up with Braun. I think they should do somebody else. I don't know who they would do against the Bar, but I think they do. I think they should do somebody else besides Kane. Kane would be too easy. Two big guys. I think it should be somebody else. Maybe I was hearing rumbles that maybe Neville might be coming back. I think that'd be really cool. Part of the reason he was so mad, no problem, gentlemen. Part of the reason he was so mad is that he hit the apex, the plateau for 205 Live, and he wanted to be in on the real roster, not on a side roster, which is what 205 Live was. He hit the glass ceiling, so to speak. He was the cruiserweight champion for X amount of months, for a while, and he wants to be on the main roster, not on 205 Live. So this would be that could be a good way to bring him in for WrestleMania. So I think that'd be a very, very good idea. I have not yet seen any more Commander Grease. Mine only has Rogue One figures, and they have the 2-pack of Admiral Akbar and the Star Wars. I think it's like an officer, some type of officer. Those are the only 2 they have. That's all they really have at mine that's left. Hello, Epic. How's it going, sir? Thank you for coming in the chat. Yeah, as far as GameStop getting commission, that's probably the reason why they're pushing so hard. Yeah, I still think they're going to push Taker and Cena. That is my idea, what they're going to run with. There was big rumblings, unfortunately, of AJ Styles possibly missing the show. He had supposedly a knee injury at a house show a few weeks ago, or a week ago, I think it was, and they were concerned that he would not be able to make it to WrestleMania, and they were going to strip him of the title. That was the big rumbling. I don't think that's going to happen now. I think it's still going to be Nakamura and AJ. Now with Daniel Bryan getting cleared, this could give him a way out in case Styles is hurt to put Nakamura and Daniel Bryan. That would be a dream match as well. That'd be a very good match. That was actually one of the reasons that Daniel Bryan wanted Shinsuke Nakamura in WWE. At one time, Daniel Bryan was an Intercontinental Champion, and Nakamura was the Intercontinental Champion in NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was one of their longest Intercontinental Champions ever, and that's what he wanted. He wanted the Intercontinental Champions to go at it. That was his original idea, and Daniel Bryan wanted that as well. But it never came to fruition because Daniel Bryan and his concussion issues. So that was what they wanted to do. So hopefully we can see that happening soon. Yeah, Epic, I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. I talked a little bit about the KB stores. There's 1,000 stores that are going to be opening near or on Black Friday. From what AA, Star Wars Collecting and Hobbies, him and I were chatting in the team here. um, is that they're going to be in the malls again, which I'm rather surprised they're going to be back in the malls. Me teaming up with Braun Strowman, I can be his mouthpiece. I can talk trash. I'll have Braun do all the work. I saw at a Walgreens today. I saw the new Becky Lynch figure. Mm, nah, nah. Um, let's answer your question, Hector, that I know of. Why bring Ronda to WWE ratings? It's money. She still will draw. Absolutely, she'll still draw. Um, Let me go back up to your chat a little bit here. So I'm answering Hector's question now about the plans for Ronda. Her future, from what it looks like, I have a feeling that Charlotte's going to lose the belt to Asuka. Asuka's going to run with the belt probably into either SummerSlam or the next WrestleMania, and Ronda is going to challenge her for the belt at that WrestleMania or that SummerSlam. At least from what I've heard. That's the going rumblings right now. I haven't seen any real Gundam stuff. I'm assuming at Toys R Us. Why is Walmart Thanos more rare than a Walmart Black Panther? I've not yet seen gold in any Thanos yet, ever. If you're talking the Walmart exclusive Black Panther, I actually saw both of them. The comic version, we're getting an overload again. Hopefully the stream doesn't die. Hopefully the stream doesn't die again. If it does, I will recover quickly. I don't know why we're getting an overload. I think it's OBS. I have to update it. There's a new update for OBS. I'm probably going to update it after the stream. Hopefully that fixes this issue that we're running into. I don't know why they won't restock. I've never seen them yet. Zero. I have yet to see the Thanos. I want that Thanos. I really want that Thanos. I like the new grinning face. I'm definitely would display it with the grinning face, and of course the Infinity Gauntlet. You got to have that on your Thanos. I don't know if they're short packed. Star Wars Collecting Hobby could tell you about that, if they're short packed or not. If they come in their own case, I don't know. He would have a much better grasp on that because he actually dealt in retail. I don't know if they did or not. I'm assuming they probably have a full case of them, I guess, but I don't know. Any other questions you guys have for me? Hit me up. Probably Epic about selling bad toys. Case of 8. Okay. Their own case. I'm assuming they're all the same, AA? All the same toys? There's no variants? I'm assuming. You're going to be surprised if you're looking for some Gundam stuff. I actually seen Gundam model kits at Barnes & Nobles. I don't know why. I've seen Barnes & Noble's Gundam kits there. They're all the same? Okay. Yeah, as far as why Barnes and Nobles would have Gundam stuff, I think they're trying to ramp up their collectibles section a lot. They have a lot of collectibles at Barnes and Nobles. Trying to answer that OMG, usually they'll have a set piece count. Either they worked a deal out with the licensing for that when they actually try to do a pop. They'll say, hey, this has 10,000 units, 20,000 units, 30,000 units, whatever the number may be. Usually when you have a piece count that high, it's usually, close that here, it's usually because they worked out a deal for it. Yeah, ugly, definitely. I think they're pretty expensive. I don't think they're cheap at all. I probably could not do one of those. They're pretty. You have to have a pretty good hand when it comes to model crafting. When you put the model kits together, I would be super sucky at that. I know that certain lines will have smaller piece counts. For example, if you look at the Emerald City Comic Con Green Chrome Batman, you had 1,500 piece count on that. The Big Bang Theory ones, when you had them being half transported up, which was I think a 2013 1,008 piece count item, a limited exclusive con item. So they're usually for like conventions, so you usually have lower piece count items. Those are usually big event pieces. They usually have those are more specialty figures that have a lower piece count on that. But I'll buy pops that are common. I don't really have an issue with that. Depending on what I like. I always tell people, don't really worry about the money. Worry about what you like. Buy what you like. Not yet, Ugly. It's on my radar to watch. I have not had a chance to watch it. I want to. I saw the first one. I love the first one. I think it was a great movie. Now Ready Player One comes out this weekend, so I have to get to see Pacific Rim, and I got to see Ready Player One. Absolutely. I definitely want to see. There's a movie theater by me called iPick. They charge a little bit more for the theater because you're literally on a reclining chair. You have a table in front of you. They give you a blanket and a pillow. So I mean, they charge a little more, but you get more of an experience with them. It's very, very cool. I'm going to be either watching the Avengers movie there or the new Deadpool movie there. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm not sure the piece count on those, but I know they're selling pretty expensive. I've seen them go in the hundreds for those units. The only issue I had with the Chrome stuff is it looks a little weird. Some of the figures, even the standard versions, I don't like the sculpts. I mentioned in the videos about those ones. I hate the Iron Man. I don't like it. I like the Iron Spider. I do like the Iron Spider. I wish it would, because I think they have a new Infinity War coming out, one with the little tendrils coming off. He has 4 tendrils in the actual comics. He has one on the left, one on the right, and one kind of dangles underneath, like near a hip. Those are really designed as I don't know if he walks on them because I didn't read the comic. I saw the covers. They're really sort of helpers. They're helper limbs basically that can like grab this or grab that. They weren't really designed for the aspect of fighting, at least from what I've seen, but they might have. I didn't read the actual book though. I actually got the the new Gypsy Danger, whatever. I think it's Gypsy Avenger. I did actually get that one. That's coming out of Bandai instead of NECA. Regular Thanos. I'm assuming you're talking the standard pop or the Walmart one. My favorite 80s and 90s movie. My favorite 80s movie. I love, I mentioned this before many times. I'm a big, big fan of the Star Trek Wrath of Khan. I mentioned it a lot of times. I love Wrath of Khan. One of my favorite movies of all time. I can watch the movie over and over again and not get bored of it. 90s, I think it was in the 90s. Let me see here. I don't want to say something that's not true. Give me a second here. Hold on. Excuse me. Let me go to. I don't want to say it could be in the 2000s, so let me make sure. Nope, it's 90s. Awesome. I'm a big fan. Exactly. God! I'm a big fan of The Fifth Element. People have either a love-hate relationship with that movie. Either you love it or you hate it. I absolutely love The Fifth Element. With Chris Tucker playing Ruby Rod, I love it. I have the full wave of the pops that came out for it. I absolutely love The Fifth Element. One of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely. If you've never seen Fifth Element, I highly recommend watching it. Great, great movie. Love, love, love that flick. I cannot get enough of it. It's silly, it's goofy, it's way out there, but it's a very good movie. Luc Besson, of course, made it. He did The Professional, I believe. See? A lot of people, it's a love it or hate it. Exactly, it's a love-hate thing. It's an absolute love-hate thing. I absolutely love The Fifth Element. Another movie, I would say it's up there for me. I love The Princess Bride. I absolutely love The Princess Bride. Hey, NYC, how's it going, sir? Thanks for coming in the chat. Had some technical problems earlier, but we're doing okay now. The stream crashed at least twice on me, but I was able to recover pretty quickly at the beginning, so everything is fine now. Absolutely love The Princess Bride. One of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely love it. Had my girlfriend see it. Never saw it before. She absolutely loves it. Another movie that you kind of might laugh. It was a good movie. Yep, I have to get the actual Princess Bride pops. I need to find the Chase version of Wesley. Absolutely, I gotta have him as a Dread Pirate Roberts. I want to get both versions of him. I gotta get Inigo. Indigo, excuse me, I have to go Indigo. I gotta get Buttercup. I gotta get both Wesleys. It'd be awesome if they made a Fezzik, a 6-inch Andre. I think that'd be awesome to see that. That'd be awesome. Willow, another great movie. Love me some Willow. Great movie. If you guys have never seen it, my girlfriend has not yet seen it. I want her to watch it. It was, I want to say early 80s. Definitely watch it. It's the Transformers animated movie. If you've never seen that movie, watch it. Awesome soundtrack, great flick. It's a movie that, quite honestly, if you have kids, don't let your kids watch that movie. There is some violence. There is a little bit of swearing, actually. But it's extremely... It can destroy your childhood. Let's put it that way. Great movie if you've never seen it. Yep. Love me some Hot Rod. Again, I was a really big Transformers collector about 2 years ago. The last wave of stuff I got was the Combiner Wars. I have the full Combiner War version of Superion. I had the central piece for Defensor. I was in the process of getting the pieces for it. And I just got out of Transformers. Nothing against them. I transitioned over to Pops. So about 3 to 4 years ago is when I actually got into Pops. At that time, I was still collecting Transformers, and I weaned myself off Transformers and went with Pops. I actually love the Transformers movie. I absolutely love it. Of course, that was a way for them to sell new toys. That's what Transformers was, if you're not aware of it. The Transformers cartoon was a 22-minute commercial to sell toys. That's what it was built for. Yep, agreed. The G.I. Joe animated movie, loved it. Loved it. 1987, absolutely. And of course, I was a big G.I. Joe fan. Before I even started Transformers back in the late 80s, I had those old toys. I had Snake Eyes. I had the old vehicles. I had the Shark. I had, the Vamp Mark II. I had, the boat, one of the big Cobra boats. I had a lot of that old stuff, the Rattler, the Sky Striker. I had those old toys. I kick myself in the ass now because those toys are really valuable now. I mean, I didn't have the flag. The flag, you're looking at like 4 or 5 feet. That thing goes for thousands of dollars now. It's extremely expensive. But I had those old G.I. Joe toys. I love those old properties. If you look back, I mean, one of the streams we're going to do, and I wanted to swing back to old vintage properties. I want to do a whole stream on vintage toys down the road. I think that'd be a very good discussion to talk about. Old school vintage stuff. We're talking Voltron, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask, Visionaries. Old school stuff. I can even say, let's say old Care Bears. You can even go there as well. Rainbow Bright. You can go to a lot of old properties. I have old Thundercats. Great show. Silverhawks. Old school properties. Yeah, it's basically a coffee table. But I think you could put at least 2 Sky Strikers. The Micronauts. You could have the Centurions. I mean, old school properties for stuff I remember back in the day. Some of those old toys, if you look now, you don't have the same quality that you had back in those times when those toys were really special. Those were durable toys. They were, back then, let's say you'd buy a toy for, an action figure for, let's say a G.I. Joe. It might have been like, I think, $4.99. Hot Wheels. Matchbox. I mean, those are some old school properties. And that's stuff I remember back in the day. And that's stuff that I like to bring to the audience to say that back in the day, there was a lot of old school properties that were really, really cool. And they just sort of just fell out of favor. G.I. Joe is now gone. We've not seen any new G.I. Joe since, I think it was the 50th anniversary. The Toys R Us special collectible, let's say 2 packs, 3 packs. We've not seen any new G.I. Joe products, short of JoeCon. That was about the newest stuff we would ever see. Same thing with BotCon for Transformers. We wouldn't see anything else new. That was the newest set of stuff we actually saw back in the day. I wish they put out more product, but I don't know why Hasbro has decided not to do it. I do know that Hasbro specifically has decided to work their properties into one universe. Say Rom the Space Knight. You had Mask in there, G.I. Joe in there, Transformers in there. They're all in one actual universe now. Yep, I agree. I talk about that quite a bit, Golden, all the time. The DC collectible stuff, I don't think their quality is up to scratch. Same thing with NECA. Absolutely same thing with NECA. I don't think either of those companies are putting out quality toys right now. If you look at the articulation of DC collectibles figures, They're very, very blocky. The articulation in their sculpts, there are issues in their legs where you can't even hold the legs straight. The legs are not even straight. They're like kind of warped in the middle, like here. Instead of being like this, like straight, they're at the crotch area, they're like bent. You can't push it together. Maybe if you use, let's say, if you put it in a pot of water, hot water, you might be able to heat the plastic up to make it, compress in, possibly. That'd be about it. I agree, Ugly. I agree that the toys back in the 80s were quality toys. They were very, very good, well crafted. They cared about their toys and their quality. Mattel sucks nowadays, yeah. I've seen some good stuff from Mattel. When they had Mattel, their online, Matty Collector, when Matty Collector was out there. Hey, Lindsay, how's it going? Thanks for coming into the chat. We'll have a little bit of an overrun here, only because I had issues with the chat at the beginning. So we'll run for a little bit longer. And we had 9 people in the chat. Very, very cool. Thank you guys for sticking around. Yeah, with MattyCollector.com, I don't even know if it's even running now. Let me take a look here, see if Matty's even running right now. I don't even know if it's running. I hope it is, but I don't even know. I don't know if they've been open any longer. I don't even know if they have anything any longer with Matty Collector. I don't know. I do not know. It looks like it's the Mattel Vault now. They changed it. Now you can get, you have silver members. You can sign up for silver membership or gold membership. Exclusives. You can go and check out their exclusives. I'm looking at it right now. You can get some of their 2-packs. They have a DC Comics Multiverse Batman, Monster High, Master of the Universe Horde Trooper. Rather sad, actually. Rather sad. Let's look at their brands. Let me take a look at... They have DC. They still have DC Universe. Let's take a look at DC. Of course, Master of the Universe, another big one. Sad, sad. Absolutely sad looking at this website right now, guys. Horrible. 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 Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Take a look here. I thought it was Hasbro who's getting the Bandai license, since Bandai isn't going to be doing it anymore. I believe it's Hasbro's getting the Power Rangers, but that's going to be sometime, I think, at the end of the year, maybe even next year, I believe. I could be wrong on when they're going to show around. I think that the license is going to end sometime this year, I believe, and then it's going to transition over to Hasbro. So hopefully we can see some really good Power Ranger products. Again, I've mentioned it in the past. I like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's what I grew up with as far as my Power Rangers. I love White Ranger. I love Green Ranger. I usually get anything that I can find my hands on for Green Ranger, White Ranger stuff. I did not pick up the new helmet for White Ranger. The head-switching Green Ranger, I did not pick that up either. I don't know if I'm going to. I like the White Ranger helmet, but I'm not entirely sure. I have, of course, the Dragonzord 6-inch pop. I had to get that. And the Heroverse, which was the new Funko license they have. They had a White Ranger and Green Ranger 2-packs. I got both of those as well. Hopefully they can give us some good Megazords. Hopefully they give us some good, let's say 6-inch Power Ranger stuff, like the Legacy collection that they came out with for Green Ranger and White Ranger. I think they can make the articulation a bit tighter on that one. I think it's not as tight articulation as SH Figure Arts, which in my opinion, in the 6-inch scale, you cannot get any better articulation for SH Figure Arts for the Power Ranger stuff. I have a Green Ranger and White Ranger that as well. I think the White Ranger goes for about $150 right now. It's not cheap at all. Kamen Rider, I know who that is. I have not watched any of the shows. I think it's all in Japanese. I don't know if they have it translated over to America, but I have heard of Kamen Rider. It'd be cool if they do that. If they could make removable helmets, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe they would do it with the helmet might split in half. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they'd be able to do hinges so it can hinge open and close. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if they could do it. But I don't know. I don't know how they actually would run it. I think it would be a cool idea to do something like that. As in, like, maybe as an accessory. Definitely be a cool idea. Any other questions you guys have? Because it's 10:05 right now. I'm going to keep the stream running for about maybe 5 more minutes. Any other questions? Hit me up in the chat, please. One more left of my drink. And thank you guys for sticking around. Yeah, I think it's an all Japanese franchise. Um, I know that one of the new, I think it's the one that Bandai is losing the license to, and Hasbro's getting it. It's one of the new Power Ranger ones that they said would never come to the states. Hasbro, I think that's the first line of figures. Is that wave of Power Rangers? I believe. I could be wrong. That's what I heard. My expectations for the Venom movie. I could talk a little bit about that, and then I'll talk to Golden stuff. My expectations for the Venom movie, from what I've heard, that Marvel is going to make this a horror movie. This is not a standard Marvel movie. It is their first dabbles into horror. They said there were scenes that they had heard about that the new Spider-Man will actually be in a scene or two. They mentioned that. This is more of a modern take on the Venom symbiote. This is not Peter going to Battle World and getting the globe and coming back with the suit. This is not based off the David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane Venom. It might look like the Venom, but this is based on the Lethal Protector storyline that Mark Bagley did when he actually drew that storyline. That's the story that's going to be based on that movie, from what I've heard. Now, I think they're going to spin it around more like the Ultimates timeline, because I think it's going to be Venom. The Venom suit's going to be like in a canister. So it's going to be something they've either captured or they've been experimenting on. In the Ultimate Universe, I believe it's going to be, it was done by Peter's father, created it as a form of treating cancer. It was designed to put the person inside this suit to treat cancer. That's what that Venom suit was in the Ultimate Universe. That's what it was designed for. But I think it'll be good. To answer your question, Golden, who is my favorite Batman villain? I'm not the biggest Batman. Well, I can't really say that. I like Batman. I liked a lot of the Batman-esque stories. I liked stuff that had to deal with Nightwing and Robin. I actually collected those two books religiously back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I got out of those ones, and I went strictly with Green Lantern. But as far as Batman villains, I like the villains that are sort of like the C-list villains. I love Harley. Harley's great. I love Joker. I love Clayface. I thought Clayface was a really, really cool villain, really cool bad guy. I like the Clock King. I like a character that people don't really know that much about, Anarchy. Anarchy was a Batman villain. A young kid, a rich kid. He had his own book for a while. I loved Anarchy. I thought he was a really, really cool character who was sort of like a vigilante sort of aspect as well. I love the Joker. Who doesn't love the Joker? The Joker's awesome. Hey, Ultimate, how's it going? We're still in the chat. Still running for a few more minutes. Had some technical difficulties at the beginning. So I'm running the chat. I'm going to be doing an overrun for a little while, just to keep the chat running for a little bit longer. We have still 10 people in chat now, so if you guys still want to chat, I have no problem with that. But as far as Batman villains, I like the guys that are different, that they don't really talk about. I liked Azrael. I thought Azrael was cool. I didn't read a whole lot of Batman books. I read. If you've never, okay, here's one thing I can mention. Mr. Freeze. I'll talk about him too, definitely. I love Mr. Freeze, because Mr. Freeze, in my opinion, was a Batman villain that you could understand why he was doing what he was doing. He was taking matters into his own hands because of his wife, who was ill. So he was more of that villain that has a very prominent backstory, and you can know the reason and his mentality of why he did what he did. It wasn't right, but that's what he did. I actually love Mr. Freeze. Again, I like the guys that are your C-list villains, your bad guys. Now, if you've never read, I've never read The Killing Joke. I saw the animated movie. I heard there was a lot of controversy with that, especially the beginning portion. We had nothing to do with Killing Joke. I'm going to definitely read Killing Joke eventually. If you guys have never read this trade paperback for Batman, absolutely read it. It's called The Long Halloween. The Long Halloween probably is one of the best Batman stories ever told. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did that story. It is a story that takes place over a full year. It's 12 months. Yeah, I heard Golden, absolutely. It takes place over 12 months. Definitely, The Killing Joke is something I highly, highly, highly recommend. Excuse me, The Long Halloween. The Long Halloween is so good because each month, when the book came out, it was a 12-issue maxi series. It ran for a full year. and you basically had to figure out who the killer was. It was a murder mystery. It was a detective story. It was Batman back in like year one when he just first met up with the Joker and Poison Ivy and Riddler, those sort of characters. It was a very, very good story. Highly recommend The Long Halloween. They had a sequel to it called Dark Victory, which was sort of a spin-off of Long Halloween. Those are two of probably the best Batman stories I've ever read. And I don't read a whole lot of Batman. I have to read Killing Joke eventually. Of course, you have The Dark Knight. You got to, the stuff from Frank Miller. You got to love that stuff. That's classic. I actually read that. I thought it was okay. So far, the strangest crossover, I have not yet read it. I have it. I own it. I have not yet. I can't make a commentary on it. Would be Green Lantern and Planet of the Apes. I can't get more weird than that. For Japanese only, I don't know. As far as my Japanese stuff, I watch a little bit of anime. I used to watch a ton of it. Hey Jake, how's it going? Um, as far as I know they did stuff with Ultraman. Well, I think it was Jet Jaguar though, and Godzilla. But he looked like Ultraman to me. But I think it was Jet Jaguar. You would see Gundam and Ultraman and Kamen Riders. I would say maybe one of the Marvel. I think it was one of the Capcom fighting games where you had a lot of characters from other properties. One of my favorite animes of all time. Absolutely favorite anime of all time. Love Gatchaman or G-Force. That back in the late 70s, early 80s. Love G-Force. Love it, love it, love it. Star Blazers. Love it. Old school stuff. Love it. I love a lot of the old properties. Robotech. Robotech, of course, if people didn't know, Robotech, the space battleship, not the space battleship, Yamato. It was Macross. Robotech Macross. Am I starting a business? I'm not starting any business. But as far as Robotech goes, I love Robotech. Of course, they had 3 independent series that they had in Japan. You had Southern Cross, you had Macross, and you had Mospedia. And they took 3 completely disjointed animes and tied a story together with Harmony Gold to make it one long continuous story, only because they wanted to get it into syndication. You had to have X amount of episodes to make syndication happen. That's why they did it that way. Who's going to replace Captain America in the Avenger movies? It's probably going to be Winter Soldier, I'm assuming. I heard rumblings of Captain Marvel getting the Captain America outfit, which I don't think. If they're following continuity, I would say then probably go with Winter Soldier. That would make the most sense. Or they could even stay with Falcon. Falcon, I think, in a newer continuity of Marvel, actually became Captain America, I believe. Sam became Captain America. Oh no, I'm a far from businessman. I'm in my I would say early 40s. I'm actually in South Florida, Jake. My favorite book? I actually am a big fan of the Dresden Files. If you guys never checked out the Dresden Files, very, very cool urban fantasy sort of stuff. It's stuff that you would see, let's say, he's known as Harry Dresden. Of course, this is when Harry Potter originally started, is when Harry Dresden started his books as well. Jim Butcher is the actual author. It's really good stuff. He's actually known as the only wizard in Chicago with his name in the phone book. So it's a very, very cool set of books. If you like urban fantasy, if you like vampirism stuff, if you like werewolves, if you like undead dinosaurs, definitely check out the Dresden Files. Really good reads. Favorite movies? I love Princess Bride. I like Wrath of Khan, The Fifth Element. Those are my top 3 movies of all time. Marvel vs. Capcom game so far? I'm assuming ugly you mean Marvel vs. Capcom, right? I think that's what you mean. Let me know. And we'll give it another 5 more minutes and I will cut the stream. No problem, dude. Thanks for coming in as always. Hopefully you had some fun in the stream. Local comic stores, local retail stores, depends on the store. GameStop has a no shooting policy in place unless you know the people. If you know the people, they may allow you to record. The reason why they don't do it so you would know is two reasons. One is their video surveillance. They don't want you to shoot their video cameras to know where they're at. So if you're trying to rob the place, you wouldn't be able to bypass the cameras. Two, they don't like shooting. They don't like shooting displays. Let's say you had a end cap. They don't like competition. They'll like to keep their end caps and their displays very, very close to the chest. They don't like that information getting out there. They don't like the competition. They want to keep their original end caps or displays to themselves. They don't like people shooting those. That's the reason why. Current cartoon that I watch. I haven't watched a whole lot of anime recently. Current cartoons or anime. I've gotten out of anime, unfortunately. I would say Dragon Ball Super. I just haven't had any time to watch any. I would love to watch them again. I used to watch all the old Dragon Ball stuff, where it was called Dragging Ball Z, where you would have, like, say, one Japanese episode was like 3 American ones, because they would just cut the heck out of it, and they would have people talk all the time. I actually like the old Dragon Ball stuff. I watched, like I said before, a lot of the old anime stuff. We're talking G-Force, Star Blazers. I even watched Captain Planet back in the day. It might sound silly, but I did. I watched old G.I. Joe, Transformers. A lot of the old anime stuff, a lot of old cartoons I really like. And I want to mention this in the stream, in one of the newer streams we do down the road. I don't know what the fascination Rick and Morty is. I don't get it. I don't understand. I would like to ask streamers about why they think they like it. I don't know why. So I've got someone who unsubscribed. That's fine. No biggies. It happens. I'm used to it. But yeah, those are the ones I currently, like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of anime. I'm spending a lot more time watching YouTube stuff, a lot of time watching gamers, a lot of time watching other, reviewers, unboxers. Not a whole lot of time. Yeah, like Lindsay, I just don't have a time anymore. My time is extremely just taken up by everything else I do. I did hear that they're doing a new Transformers in Japan. It's completely different. I think that's what the whole new Powers of the Prime stuff I think is based off of. I think it's linked somehow to the new Transformer stuff. That's what I heard. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure at all. So, right now, 10:20, guys. It's getting a little bit late. I'm going to cut the stream. Again, I want to have a little overrun here just because I had issues, technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream. I want to thank everybody who actually took part in the stream. So I want to thank you all definitely for sticking with it and having you guys around. Yep, their season is done from what I heard, Hector. I think they're not renewing. I think their 4th season or 5th season, one of the two. They're not renewing it. I don't know why. They're so hot right now. I don't know why they're cutting it, so I have no clue. So again, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming into the stream. I'm going to be cutting the stream in 3, 2, 1. See you guys next stream. Take care, and bye-bye.